Hey guys, it's me again. It's been a while since I've done a video like this, so we're doing another cooking video. It's a ramen recipe. It's something I thought of at the top of my head. We're gonna see how it is, how well it goes. So obviously the first thing you want to do is get ramen, because you can't make a recipe with ramen without ramen. Normally I would get the spicy flavor, but I'm going to do the chicken flavor, so because the spicy flavor might add too much flavor and ruin it. Throw your ramen on the counter, too, if you're hungry enough, and then go out into a garage or whatever you keep these. Can you guess what I'm talking about? Yep, you probably did guess it, a pot, because obviously you can't cook ramen without a pot. Fill the pot with water, or if there's a substitute out there, I usually fill it up to the 2-cup line, and then you put it on. I recommend putting it on a stove thing that's smaller than the pot, because the fire is bigger than the pot. It might burn you or something else. So yeah, and start boiling. It is optional to put a lid on to accelerate the boil. Make sure you keep checking it, make sure it doesn't boil over or whatever. And once it's done boiling, you can take the lid off if you used one, and then get your ramen. Obviously put it in the pot with the boiling water, because that's how you cook ramen. So next you can look for a fork. Yep, if you do not have a fork in your drawer, you might have one in the dishwasher. Otherwise, you might need to get some forks. But yeah, you can mix the ramen up. This helps it cook it a little bit. At least from my experience, it does. It might cut up the ramen, giving you shorter noodles. Hopefully that's not a problem to you. If it is, then don't do this. Just wait for it to moisten enough. Sorry for people that gets bothered by the word moist, but just wait for it to cook, and then you can separate it then. I don't know much people who have a problem with the size of their noodles, but just grow up. It's a noodle. It's something you're gonna eat. You're gonna chew it up, and you're gonna swallow it, and you're gonna digest it. Yeah. So next, get a bowl or whatever you eat ramen in, if it's not a bowl. And then I got one of the unique ingredients that you might not put in this ramen. It is a type of chicken that has green beans, but we're not going to eat it with the green beans. So make sure you microwave, make sure you microwave the chicken. And you can put it in a bowl, a plate, whatever you want, as long as there's something to hold the chicken in as it is microwaving. Do it for about 30 seconds or a minute. There's me again. So once it is done microwaving, you can take the chicken out. Some little juice right there, but that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, close to microwave, obviously. But then next, you shred up the chicken or crush it, or whatever you call this process. Most people call it shredding it. I don't know anybody that calls it crushing it. But if that's what you call it, then that's what you call it. No judgments here. So judgment-free channel, unless you're a PNG tuber or fur. So get it to about that texture. Then you get a paper towel to kind of dry the chicken, because you don't want all that extra juice in it. I mean, it might not be a big deal, but if you're someone like me who doesn't like their ramen that wet, I eat my ramen with not much broth, so the juice might mess it up for me. It is completely optional to do this. An onion. You can take out the onions if there's an onion. I do not have a recipe for this chicken, so the chances are you might, if you recognize this chicken, then you might be able to recreate it, but you might need to use other chicken. So yeah, obviously throw your paper towel out, or you can eat it, whatever is good for you. Then put the chicken seasoning on the chicken instead of in the ramen. Put it on the chicken. It's something new. I know, new things can be weird, but you can't really live an entertaining life without trying new things. So after you've done that, you mix the chicken seasoning into the chicken. I guess you could maybe just keep it there, but it's probably better if you mix it. Yeah, so it might be a little yellow. Hopefully you don't have a problem with the color yellow. So then you can get some mayonnaise, and sriracha if you like spice, but the mayonnaise, I put the mayonnaise in there, and then I also put the sriracha in there. Like I said, sriracha is completely optional if you don't like spice, you can't handle a little heat, but you can, that is to kind of make it have like a creamy texture. The sriracha is just for spice, doesn't add anything to the texture. So you mix it up until you can get as creamy as you can get. And like I said, I don't really like broth with my ramen, so pour the broth out. It is very hard to do it with one hand, so that's how successful I did it. And I accidentally kept too much broth in there, and some of it spilled on the counter. But I got some out, and I was able to mix it up without spilling any more out. Hopefully, if you ever do this, you have a better experience with that. And maybe don't try to record a video while you're doing it, but if you do, make sure you tag me and give me a shout out. Much appreciated. So next, get some cheese. Doesn't really matter what kind of cheese you use, as long as you get cheese. And this thing called gochujang. If you don't know what gochujang is, it is a Korean chili paste we keep in our kitchen because we are part Korean and we like Korean food. The gochujang is not a very liquidy texture, so it is very hard to mix, especially with one hand. So unless you're recording a video of you doing this like me, then I recommend doing it with two hands, because otherwise it might get messy, just like right here. Ignore that. I promise I am more professional than this. So yeah, when you're using it with one hand, this is the best you can get. And next, get some of that cheese. It can be shredded cheese, the American cheese texture. I don't know what's sliced cheese. Sliced cheese, but why would you put sliced cheese in something you're trying to melt? Shredded cheese works a lot better when it comes to melting. But I use Colby Jack cheese because that was the type of cheese we had. And you can put as much cheese in that you want. I like a lot of cheese. And we're done. So I'm just you can see me over there. I'm bringing the ramen over any day now. Oh yeah, you should probably have some sort of pot holder or oven mitt, I think is what they're called, because it might be too hot and you do not want to drop your ramen on the floor. Next, get some soy sauce. Ignore that. You don't like soy sauce on your napkins, but yeah, get some soybean oil. It is a popular, maybe popular combination with ramen. I've seen some Korean people do it. It is also very good with rice, soy sauce and soybean oil. And after that, you're done and you can eat it. I actually enjoyed this recipe. I could have maybe mixed it a little bit better, but it is very hard to mix things with one hand. Will I recreate this again? Maybe. But overall, my rating is an 8.7 out of 10. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Yeah, I should do more stuff like this, like more often, but I really just do it whenever I get the chance to. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to like and subscribe, you can do that. Can't really dislike anymore, but and yeah, if you want to check out my other videos, you've probably been on YouTube for a while, so you know how to do that. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.